Hey there YouTube. Today I've got something slightly different for you. I'm actually reviewing and talking you through the MyLearners app from Vicroads. This app is a new release from Vicroads from December 2018, so it's less than a month old, which allows you to replace the paper logbook for your learners. A bit of history. Here in Victoria, Australia, you have to have 120 hours of supervised driving on your learners. And I believe 20, maybe 40 of those have to be nighttime driving hours. Might have been 10, now it's 20, I think. I'll check. Those hours have to be supervised by fully licensed driver in the passenger seat. And previously you had to fill out a paper logbook with all of those hours and each drive, and it's a slightly painful process. Well, Vicroads have now released an app that allows both the learner and the supervisor to have that app, possibly even on the same device, both Android and iOS, on their phone, and it actually tracks the drive, fully GPS tracked, so that there's no ifs, buts or maybes about whether the drive was done. And then at the end of a drive, that information is sent back to the supervisor who approves it, and it's recorded as a log. That way there's no risk of losing the logbook or any of that sort of thing. So the app is called MyLearners, as you can see. This is the iOS version. When you install it, at first you have to either log in or sign up. It does require a Vicroads login. That allows them to authenticate you as a registered licensed driver. You have to put in your license number and that sort of thing. Few people have had in the reviews have said there's been some problems with that. I didn't have a problem, but I'm fairly tech savvy, that's why I'm here. And I will step you through the process in just a sec. Now I will note that there are some people in the reviews that have said you'll see it's only got a review of 2.9 stars, that having trouble with the app crashing, not recording drives, that sort of thing. It is brand new. I'm sure it will improve over time. We haven't had any problems, but we've only done 32 minutes of driving so far, so we will see. So yeah, from here I hit the sign up button. It took me through to the Vicroads website to sign up for a My Vicroads account. It's 4 steps through the process. The first one, do you have a Vicroads account? I selected no. It says, do you have a Victorian driver's license? Yes. I then had to put my driver's license number in and my address. It then verified my name, phone number, email address, and a password so that I could log in. Then step 3 confirms all the details. I didn't put them there. So, but yeah, you have to go through and create all the security questions and answers, the usual sort of thing for an account of this type. The fourth thing, it sends you an email so that you activate the account. That's the notification you get. That's the email as it was in the inbox on my iPhone. I simply clicked the activate your account button. It took me back through, said my account was activated, and back in the app it showed me that, I have no drives to verify, I'm not coaching any learners, and there's been 0 drives in the past 7 days, which makes sense. Now I'll show you the learners version of this soon, but for me, Becky sent me an invite to say, will you be a supervising driver for me? And so I have in my invites tab in the learners section is a request from Becky, which I accepted, and now she is a learner on my account. It now says I have 1 learners that I coach with 0 drives. It also has a bunch of tips and tricks that it shows. So stage 1, tasks to practice with your learner. Practice moving away from the curb, steering, braking smoothly, and then I can click the arrow and there's 4 or 5 different tips that it gives there. Really handy. Becky has done a pre-learners driving course, so she's already got about 3.5 hours of experience even before she got her learners. It was all done on private roads, so it's not out in traffic or anything like that. When the learner logs in, this is what they see. Now, this is my Rebecca, Becky as we know her. It was her 16th birthday yesterday, and she got her learner's permit at 10 o'clock in the morning. So she's, at the time of this, had done 22 minutes of driving. She then went to the Supervisors tab, hit the plus button up in the top right corner, and invited me to be a supervising driver for her, which is the thing that I accepted in the previous visual. This is where she is at now. And then when she clicks on the stopwatch down in the bottom middle, it asks her to start a drive, but she needs to select a supervisor first. So she clicks on that. She can choose from either Bernie or myself. She clicked on me. It now says I'm the supervisor for this drive. Click Start Drive. It then says to put the phone away. It's against the law to use your phone while driving. So we simply tap the OK button, put the phone out of harm's way. Don't necessarily hide it. Like putting it down under the seat is possibly not a good idea because it may interfere with GPS. Some of the people that have been having problems, I wonder if it's possibly a problem with the GPS on the phone not being able to see the satellites. And so off we went on our drive. At the end of the drive, you hit the stop button and it shows the details. I was the supervisor. There were 9 minutes of daylight driving. This was after dropping a friend home from the station. And Becky had to go through and select the traffic conditions, the weather conditions, types of roads, driving environment, and then submit. Once that's submitted, it also gives you a little hint. Basic car control in quiet areas first, which is great for first starting drivers. And then on her phone, it pops up that she has an unverified drive and she has 2 approved drives. At this point on my notifications, I then got a notification that there was a drive that I had to approve. So I opened my phone, it shows this drive at 10:05 a.m. As an unverified drive. I tap on that and it says I can either reject or approve that particular drive. I click the approve button, it's now an approved drive, and back on Becky's phone, she now gets a notification that says the trip was approved. And a comment, great work, you need to, supposed to say relax, on the speed changes, and gives the details there. Becky now has 31 minutes of daytime driving, and a little hint about are you ready, and then a summary down the bottom of the different types and times of driving that she's done. I personally think this is a wonderful app. There is a sort of conflict, I guess, between having a phone with you while you drive and that being a possible distraction. But if it's managed properly, that shouldn't be a problem. I really like it. Kudos to Vicroads for trying something. Yay, I think you've done a pretty good job of it. I can't think of anything I would really change. I'd love some feedback. If you hate it, love it, whatever. Again, this is the January 2019 version. Hopefully it will improve over time as they think of other things. Again, I've done a 9-minute drive using it. My wife's done 22 minutes. So we haven't had any problems in that 31 minutes of driving, or either of us as a supervisor. But we will see. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Here at the Tech Doctor, we release a video every week helping you feel comfortable with your computer and navigating the maze of technology. Hit the subscribe button below if you want to subscribe, and ring the bell to be notified of new episodes. And thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.